Hi, Brett here. I just wanted to give a update of what's going on with the Learning for Life lessons in 2019 and even right now. First off, I want to thank those of you who are participating in this program, who are watching these lessons, who are sharing these lessons, sometimes with very, very kind words. I just want to thank you for that. I could not be doing this, obviously, without you. So thank you for that. Thank you for sharing. I haven't even been doing this. It's just been over 10 months. It's not even been a year yet. And because of your sharing, because of people finding out about these lessons, I have jumped from 500 people, and that 500 included friends and relatives and people who were following like the kayaking and the reptiles, not just the music. Some of it was music. But I had 500 before I ever started this. And right now I am at 2,765, which is 2,265 more in just 10 months, which to me is amazing that it has taken off so largely and so quickly. So I want to thank everyone who has been doing that. I also want to thank my patrons, and we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. But I want to thank my patrons because I could not be doing this without their help, and I just really appreciate their giving, and we'll talk about that. But I want to talk to you about what I'm doing for December. I'm not putting out any new lesson videos in December. I'm going to post some of those that are in the archive. I don't think this will bother anybody. I don't think it'll hurt anybody. You know, I've got over 50 lessons for hammer dulcimer, mountain dulcimer, or clawhammer banjo, and most people have done maybe 10 of them because they're taking their time, like they should, and doing them slowly and digesting them and learning correctly. So I don't think anybody has done all 50 of those lessons. And so I'm going to pull some from the archives that I kind of like, and we're going to repost those. And during December, what I'm doing is revamping my program. A lot of times people have trouble figuring out where to go or where to start. So if you've noticed, I've already started this. I have two playlists now for each instrument. And one is the beginner playlist, one is a regular playlist. The beginner playlist starts with lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4, etc. to a certain point, and then it's kind of a wherever you want to go. Because something is in the beginner section does not mean it should be missed by somebody who is more advanced. Because what you'll notice in all of these that I'm putting out now, the new ones for 2019, will say beginner or intermediate or beginner intermediate. I don't have anything up there. I'm not listing anything as advanced, which it may be advanced. I'm not listing it as advanced. And let's see if I can explain this. One, I don't know what advanced is. You know, nobody knows what advanced is. There are people who take workshops for 10 years who don't need to be taking workshops, you know, but they're still taking classes. So here's why I'm saying this, because of the way I teach and the way I present. Something might be intermediate that a beginner can do because of the way I'm presenting it. And I really believe that. So there are some that I have in both playlists. All right. Some are just in the beginner. Some are just in the intermediate. And, you know, I'm trying to be real organized. And I'm not the most organized person. Some of you know that. But I'm trying to really organize this so that you can find what you want and go through the lessons in some kind of an organized manner. Something else I'm doing is in November of this year, I did all hymns. And I've had a lot of people write and say they really enjoyed that. Hope I do it next year. So I'm going to go one better. And what I'm doing is the first lesson of every month will be a hymn. And then I may do a technique video in there, but the rest of those other 3 weeks or 4 weeks will all be tunes or again, ideas and methods and things like that, techniques. So that's what I'm doing with that. In July, everything will be Christmas carols. Christmas in July will give you plenty of time to get those tunes down instead of trying to get them down, you know, in November like I did this year, or when did I do that? October. I don't know when I did the Christmas carols. I think it was in October, which is still kind of tight for a lot of people. So in July, you won't necessarily be in the Christmas spirit at that time, but you'll have the tunes down and be able to learn them in time. So I'll be doing that as well. You know, I can only do this because of my patrons, and I want to talk about Patreon for just a minute. I started doing this with YouTube, and you just simply, you have to have millions of people to make any kind of money on YouTube, which I don't have because it's a small community. You know, I mean, there's, even combined with what I'm teaching, it's a very small community. And as I said, I've grown by leaps and bounds, and I'm just looking over there right now, and in the last 7 days, I've had 18,000 views, which is a lot. And I still haven't gotten the first paycheck yet from YouTube, which is they don't send anything out until you make $100. So that gives you an idea with what I'm doing and my audience and you, that it's not gonna go where it needs to go with YouTube. And somebody wrote me who actually does what I do, and she said you need to look into Patreon. And I was leery about it until I started seeing what Patreon is. And Patreon is really a community of people who support, I don't want to say the arts, because it's not all the arts. It could be anything. It could be knitting. It could be forging. It could be car repair. It could be music. It could be comedy. Pretty much anything where people create videos for others. So what Patreon means to me personally, for those of us who are trying to go full-time with what we're doing, and this is full-time, this is a lot of work, trying to get the videos out, especially, you know, if I was just doing mountain dulcimer, or I was just doing hammer dulcimer, or I was just doing claw hammer, just one of those, and just focused on that, that would be a whole lot easier. I was just introduced at the Nutmeg Festival up in Connecticut as the hardest working man in the dulcimer community. I don't know if that's true or not. It's nice to be recognized like that. But it is a lot of work, and I'm really trying. And the reason I'm doing those three instruments is because those are my three loves. Those are the three things I really enjoy teaching and playing. You know, I teach guitar. I mean, I play auto harp, I play guitar, mandolin, bluegrass banjo. There are things that I like. I love these. And the hammer dulcimer, which is over there. And that's why I choose that. And I think it's a good blend, but it's a lot of work to do that. So what Patreon does is it allows me to go full-time, where I can focus on getting these lessons out, where I don't have to worry about getting a job outside the music, where I can focus on the music. And that's what Patreon allows me to do. So you're not really supporting, you're not paying for the lessons. What you're doing is you're supporting me and allowing me to keep creating these things so that you will have, after I'm long gone, you'll still have these videos at your leisure to take these lessons. And the more I get up there, the more I can do this, the more access that you're going to have to these things. So, you know, to me, Patreon is, for me personally, it's a kind of a family. When you join Patreon, of course, you do get things back. I'm going to be changing some of that as well in a better way, where I'm going to have digital downloads with my music instead of CDs, which will make it easier for people. So you do get that back, but it's like a family in that there's a lot more communication. There's a lot more personal back and forth, where you can contribute into that closeness, like that inner circle. I don't like using that word, but that's basically what it is. So I want to thank those of my patrons who are giving and who have become part of that circle. And I would appreciate anybody who would be willing to give to help support what I'm doing, to help support these lessons. It just means the world to me. It means a lot when somebody gives back. And it's also just needful for me to do what I'm trying to do. So let's move on over, and we're going to look at the screen, and I'm going to show you how to navigate just a little bit. So here I am on my YouTube. I'm not signed in. I pre-typed in Brett Ridgway's Learning for Life. We're going to go there, then we'll go to my page, and right here you can subscribe here if you'd like.
if you go to the page, you can also hit subscribe again. And what you want to do is you want to go to playlists. Now, my page looks different than yours, and I'm going to show you the difference. But here you'll see a Mountain Dulcimer beginning playlist, and then you will see a Mountain Dulcimer playlist. By the way, I apologize for the noise my computer is making. I don't know what's wrong with it. I need to get it fixed. Hammer Dulcimer lessons, Hammer Dulcimer beginning lessons. Banjo beginner, and I'm still working there. This is not yet published yet. And then the banjo lessons. And then, of course, the learning tips and helps, which I believe is very, very helpful. So let's go to Mountain Dulcimer beginning lessons.
Introducing Add-on Advantage, a new way to
set that on mute. Okay, so you'll see lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3. Then you're going to see it says private video. And these are lessons that are actually in queue that are not up yet. They're scheduled to be up. They're going to come up in January. And what you're going to notice is lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to notice that 6 is missing. That's because one of these is lesson 6, but it will be up in January. And you can go down. You can see these different private ones that are in queue. So what you can do when you come to these lessons, what helps, again, you can subscribe, which is a great help. You can also come right up here and like the video. By the way, if you don't like the video, that also helps, but I prefer that you like the video. Just a way to say thank you if you're learning from these lessons. And then you can also leave a comment. And again, mine's gonna, this is a little different. It's got some advertisements here, but you can leave a comment. There's 11 comments right here. So those are 3 things you could do: subscribe, like, and comment. Now, I'm going to take you to mine because I want to show you the difference. I've got something playing on mine. Mine has these analytics up here. It tells me how long people, or how many views I've had in the last 48 hours, 1,900 views. 1.9 thousand views, I'm sorry. In the last 7 days, 5.9 thousand. 41 in the last 60 minutes. And again, it looks a little different where I can edit the video and I have the analytics. And by the way, if you like the black, you can also do that on yours. What you do is you go to your channel, and when this opens up, it'll say channel, different things like this. If you scroll down to this little gear, it'll say dark theme, and you just turn that on. I kind of like the looks of that a little bit better. So there you go. That's a freebie. And but again, in mine, I don't have any of the lessons that are where it says private. They're on mine. They're all up so that I know what I'm doing here. So let's go back again. All right. So I really think I've covered mostly everything. One other thing you can do. Let me go to mine again. Once you find my channel, you can go up to this little star at the very top, and you can save. If you go back to the actually, let's not do this. Let's go back to the playlists. Let's click playlists here. We're on Mountain Dulcimer Beginner, or let's just leave it a playlist. You can go up here and click this little star, and that will bookmark that into this list of easy, quick access for you. So I hope that's helped. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you again very soon on an upcoming video. Have a good day.